Hi! Welcome to Virtual CB1A. This is Miss Rena and this is Week 3, Lecture 1 of Mathematics in the Modern World. Today, we are going to discuss all about problem solving and we are going to focus on inductive reasoning. These are our learning objectives. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to understand inductive reasoning and solve problems using inductive reasoning. We will start this lesson with a story. Once, there was a blind woman, and she was able to see for the first time. She went out for a walk and saw a black cat on the park. Later on, she saw another cat on her way home. And again, it was black. When she finally reached her house, she saw another cat on her doorstep. And she was surprised to see that again, it's black. So she came up with a conclusion, and that is, all cats are black. Now this is my question. Do you think her conclusion is valid? Yes? No? Maybe? Okay, so in mathematics, we have a formal terminology for the blind woman's conclusion regarding cats. It is called a conjecture. Let's define inductive reasoning and relate the story with our lesson. Inductive reasoning is a type of reasoning using patterns and examples. So, for inductive reasoning, it is making use of your observations to come up with a conjecture or conclusion. So, getting answers or making conclusions through observation. So, you have to take note of this one. Answers or conclusions obtained through inductive reasoning may or may not be valid. For the formal definition of conjecture, it is a conclusion obtained from inductive reasoning, and it may or may not be valid. So how do we know if a conjecture is valid or not? By the use of counterexamples. So if a counterexample, something that will contradict your conjecture, exists, then we can assume that the conjecture is not valid. Now let's go back to the story. She came up with a conclusion, all cats are black. So she excitedly called her friends to tell them about her discovery, that all cats are black. But her friends know better. Alam nila na may iba pang kulay ng pusa. And they want to make the blind woman understand na marami pang kulay ng pusa na nag-e-exist, hindi lang itim. So how can her friends make her realize that her conjecture is false? So simple lang. They have to present her with counterexamples. So this is what her friends did. They showed her other cats of different colors. Nagpakita sila ng cat na white, orange, brown, halo-halong kulay. And finally, the blind woman understood that her conjecture is false and that there are other colors of cats. Okay? The end. Now, let's apply inductive reasoning to patterns and number sequences. So, katulad ng blind woman kanina, sa observation, based from her observation, dun siya nag-come up with a conjecture. So, ganun din pag inductive reasoning. For example, 2, 4, blank, blank, blank. You are asked to find the next 3 terms for this number sequence. So, what do you observe between 2 and 4? So, si 2, ang una nating term, tapos si 4 yung pangalawang term. From 2, paano ka magiging? So, some of you may come up with the conjecture that to get the next term for our sequence, you have to add 2. That is, 2 plus 2 is 4. Tapos yung susunod nito, 2 plus 4 is 6. Tapos yung kasunod nito, 2 plus 6 is 8. Tapos kasunod, 2 plus 8 is 10. So, adding 2 to the last term will give you the value for the next term. But what if tatlo yung binigay na given? 2 and 4 pa rin yung simula, but the third term is now 8. So, this will contradict our initial conjecture that to get the next term, you have to add 2. Instead, you will come up with another idea or conjecture na to get the next term, you don't have to add 2. Instead, you have to double the previous term. So, 2 when doubled is 4, 4 when doubled is 8, and 8 when doubled will give you 16. And 16 when doubled will give you 32. So, ganun tumatakbo yung inductive reasoning. You have to rely on your observation to come up with a conjecture. And that conjecture may or may not be valid. Kung dun sa unang trial pa lang, may mga nagsagot na sa inyo ng 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, then, lucky for you. Tama ka agad yung initial na observation nyo. Pero nung nagdagay tayo ng isa pang data dito, na-contradict, nagkaroon tayo ng counterexample. Hindi na valid si 6, 8, and 10. Instead, it will be 8, 16, and 32. Now, hindi lang limited yung inductive reasoning sa number patterns or number sequences. Yung sa mga IQ test na nag-exist, karamihan nagre-require ng inductive reasoning to come up with the correct answer. Yung mga exams for employment, usually inductive reasoning yung ginagamit dun eh. Now, let's look at this series of shapes. Ayan. From the first photo or figure, the triangle on the top left side is shaded blue. For the second term, the triangle in the right topmost side is shaded. Dito naman, yung right bottom naman ang shaded. So, is it possible to predict the next figure? Siyempre, possible siya. If, based on your observation, ano yung pattern ng paglipat-lipat ng shaded region. So, lumilipat siya in a clockwise motion. So, papabilog siya. Papabilog parang sa takbo ng clock hand. So, clockwise motion, then we can assume that the next figure will have the bottom left triangle shaded. Isa pa. Ito yung figure natin. Initially, you have 1 dot. For the second term, you have 2 dots, and on top of that, 1 dot. And then, for the third figure, you have 3 dots at the bottom, and then on top of that, we have 2, and then on top of that, we have 1. So, what do you notice dito sa takbo nitong pattern na to? So, from 1, first term, isang tuldok lang. For the second term, dalawa na yung tuldok at the bottom. So, the number of terms will determine the number of dots that will be placed on the bottom of the figure. So, kung kailangan natin dito ng fourth, magkakaroon tayo ng 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 yung nasa bottom natin na dots. Ano pa yung na-observe natin from the first 3 figures? So, yung previous term, it will be placed on top of the 2 dots at the bottom, or the n dots, depende dun sa number of terms mo, dun sa bottom. So, dito, yung 1, it was placed on top of the 2 dots. Yung previous term, nandun na siya sa kasunod na term. Tapos, ito namang tatlong to, lalagay mo siya on top of the 3 dots for the next term. So, dito, yung nakaraang term natin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 dots will be placed on top of this 4 dots at the base. So, magkakaroon tayo dito ng 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then 1. So let's see if this pattern will match the correct answer. So yes. So this is going to be our fourth term. Now, I hope that was clear because you will have another activity. For let's try, you have to determine the next three terms in the number sequence 1, 2, 5, 10, 17, blank, blank, blank. So, paki-fill up ano yung tatlong susunod na terms. Next, determine the next 6th, 7th, and 8th term from the sequence below. Nasagutan na natin kanina hanggang 4th term, di ba? So, kayo na bahala dun sa 5th. Tapos, drawing nyo si 6th, 7th, and 8th. Next. Ito, number lang yung kailangan ko dito. Hindi nyo na kailangan ipakita yung drawing. How many dots are in the 9th term? How many dots are in the 10th term? How many dots are in the 11th term? So, for the first term kanina, the number of dots is 1. For the second term, the number of dots is 3. And for the third term, the number of dots is 6. So, how many dots are there in the 9th term, in the 10th term, and in the 11th term? I will be posting the instructions on Google Classworks, so please check it out. And please follow the instruction. Kung ano yung format na hinihingi ko for the activity, yun yung ipasa nyo. Kasi I will be giving deductions for the midterm for those students who will not comply with the requirements. I hope that was clear. Thank you for listening and have a good day. Bye!